Ultralights cheering, the flames reach the sky. Raise your glasses, let the whole world know we're rocking forever on the barbecue show. Get in the smoke, let the fire take hold. Raise your lighter, stories told. Barbecue thunder, the spotlights glow. Rocking the pit on the barbecue show. And still going strong. White whales landed. He's played that song. Breaking the news, Hall of Fame on the line. With Connie's recipes, the stars align. He's the flame.
Pod! This is Meat Mitch, and you're listening to the Barbecue Central Show.
Start the game! Let's go!
We'll do it live. Okay. Well, do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike their match, and... Oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
Good evening, and welcome to the really big Barbecue Central Show. Hey, this is a show that talks about all things that are important to the world of barbecue and grilling. This show originates from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city, Bomb City, USA, Cleveland, Ohio, the barbecue capital of the North Coast. I'm your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard here on your Tuesday evenings, a live fire fun and frivolity show. If you would like to get in contact with the show, or you would like to follow the show during off-show hours, here's how you do all that fun stuff.
You can get in touch with the show by sending an email to Greg at BBQCentralShow.com. Follow us on all the social media channels at BBQ Central Show. And be sure to subscribe to the show podcast feed on your favorite podcast platform.
Anything else you want to find out about the show can be found at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. And here's what's happening in case you get the newsletter coming up in about 12 minutes from now. This past weekend, we saw the 2025 version of the Hartville Hardware Grillfest happen, and you will be getting the full recap next. I was there all day. I had chances to interface with all of the high and mighties. I had a chance to interface with all of the lower level people like me. I had a chance to interface with people all the way above the top and all the way below the bottom and everything in between. And I don't want to ruin it right off the rip, but let's just say this. 2025's Hartville Hardware Grillfest was single-handedly the largest Grillfest to date. It keeps growing every year, much like a plague or prolific disease that is spreading. It is the COVID of barbecue and grilling festivals here in, I guess, what would be extreme south and east of the greater metropolitan Cleveland area. But in those terms, I mean, it is hard to guard. It is growing every year. This was the 12th year, I believe Kelly said. And with a little revamp in logistics, it was something else. It was a sight to behold. It was a day to experience. And we'll get into all of that here in just a few short minutes. And then after that, I will be having the Embedded Correspondents stop by for what will be an abridged 100% assurity questions. And then we'll move to the second hour because what do we know about the last weekend in September with the Embedded Correspondents? Can only mean one thing. We're putting in a new class of the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame. Yes! If you have been a guest on the show at some point during the show's existence, you are eligible for the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame. Now, can it be just that easy? Maybe 6 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. I mean, really, only about 8 years ago. We've been doing it since 2018, so this will be our... Are we putting in our 8th class? Are we putting in our 7th class? I don't know. Go back and do the math. But in 2018, we started the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame. There was a large influx of the time, recurring guests, semi-recurring guests, and one-off guests. And then at some point, perhaps even the next year, we changed the whole thing. Changed the game, as we say. And we just said we're going to put in 5 people, and it's got to be unanimous. And the Embedded Correspondents are going to take part in it, and I'm going to take part in it. And we're going to put 5 people in from here on out. And then 3 or 4 years ago, I started incorporating Hall of Fame rings, which people really love. The people that didn't get the ring are still pissed. But I'm not going back and spending that money. I mean, you're in the Hall of Fame. Please shut up about it. But if you get in the Hall of Fame nowadays, you get all of the bragging rights and life-changing events that happen when you get into the Guest Hall of Fame. But you also get just a touch of bling. And the folks like Chris Lilly wear that thing around. Barbecue Bob Trudnack wear that thing around. They have real big manly hands, like fingers. I could never wear that. It would just spin around like a top. So we will, whether you like it or not, nominate, argue, and then somehow cobble a list, which will end up being the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame class of 2025, and then we will call it an evening. So that's what you have to look forward to this evening. A recap of the Hartville Hardware Grillfest coming up shortly. A quick 100% surety question segment as we close out the first hour with the Embedded Correspondents, and then second hour, we will put together a 2025 Barbecue Central Show's class of, what? A 2025 Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame class. That's all happening tonight. Don't forget, you can follow me socially, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and LinkedIn, all with the handle at BBQ Central Show. We say good evening to those of you watching tonight through one of our video streaming platforms. You can go to facebook.com/BBQ Central Show, or you can watch over on YouTube, which is youtube.com/@BBQ Central Show. We do have a new YouTube poll question of the week, and it is this, and we are asking all guests, do you own a ceramic cooker, or do you or have you owned a ceramic cooker of some type? And currently, 64% of you are saying no. It was 50-50 for a little bit there through the opening quarter mile. But currently, the no's are winning, but the yeses aren't too far behind. And you know me, I love if there's any chance that we can always end at a 50-50, why did you bother asking the question split? That's my favorite. Results from the poll question of last week, I was asking everybody if you were going to be attending the 2025 Grillfest in Hartville, Ohio, and 83% of you said indeed you were not. But 17% of you actually showed up and showed out. Special mention to the Beatles that showed up and got a hold of me right there at the end of the day on Saturday. Said, hey, we talked to you last year about putting together a potential podumentary. We were going to open a brick and mortar store, and we didn't end up doing it. We went online instead. Gave me a little brief recap of what they have going on. So I am happy to hear that they didn't just headlong into it and all of a sudden it's bankrupt and we're fire sailing Rubs and was it Lorraine? Illyria? Sorry, Beatles. So great to see them amongst the others that said hello to me as well. And I especially appreciate the folks who said, we came to see you or listen to you each week. That means the most. And we'll start here this evening because it was brought up at the end of the show last week. And I do want to mention it again because I feel like it might have gotten lost in the rest of the discussion that I had with Daniel Vaughn over that extended time. And I want to state for the record that for any number of years, I have been incorrectly saying the city Worcester. I have been saying Wooster, because it's spelled with double O in the front, Woostr, Wooster. Also, and this is not a excuse, but I had heard a number of other people say Wooster. And it still makes the most sense to me. However, we have confirmed it with former Worcester resident and Texas Monthly Barbecue editor Daniel Vaughn that the correct pronunciation is indeed Worcester. So, to the Barbecue Central Show listener, David Ewell, you were correct in correcting me 2 weeks ago. I was incorrect for telling you that I was correct. I will apologize to you for digging in on my incorrect position. That's what middle-aged white guys do. We dig our heels in and argue till we're blue in the face, and we are never wrong. I'm wrong here, and I will now go forward with every intention of saying the name of the city, Worcester, correctly from here on out. And I do thank you for the correction, and most importantly, Dave, thank you for continuing to listen all these years. That means the most. Unfortunately, at this stage of the show, I'm not going to be getting to the Terry in Kentucky email because he did write in.
Terry?
He did write in, or he wrote in. Maybe in the second hour, Terry?
Terry?
We'll see. I'm not going to close that tab. I'm going to keep that tab open just in case. Before I talk more, let me talk a little more as we talk about Primo Grills. 67% of you are saying you currently don't own or have never owned a ceramic cooker. That's a shame. I have a Primo in my backyard. It is the summer of Primo, and now we are broaching into the fall of Primo. It was not the spring of Primo. It was not.
Andrew,
It was not the spring of Primo. It wasn't. But it was the summer of Primo, and it has started to be the fall of Primo. Could it be the winter of Primo? It could just be Primo all the time. No qualifiers needed going forth. You think it takes a long time to fire up that charcoal. You think it takes a long time to heat up. You think it smells. You think it's hard to navigate. You think it's hard to dial in the temperature. All of that's wrong. You need to get one. Then you just need to simply go online, look at a few online videos on how to fire it up. You can get a hold of your boy right here who has become a Primo Pro. Pro Primo. I'm sure there's something funny we can work out with that. But consult with your in-house, I wanted to say promo, combination of Primo and Pro. Consult with your in-house promo. I'll teach you how to fire that thing up quickly. It will involve a secondary purchase, but real quickly. Teach you how to use the deflector plates, teach you how to dial in temperature, and most of all, teach you how you can get multiple cooks out of a load of charcoal if you're choking out the fire the right way. They are only sold through dealers, so I am painting a picture of grand tale. You should check them out. PrimoGrill.com is the website. Find a dealer near you and then visit them in person. I recommend buying the extra large or the double extra large. You just can't go wrong with bigger. PrimoGrill.com. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram. And we will be back with me right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Broadcasting live from the BBQ Central Show studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the BBQ Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Hey, welcome back. This portion of the show is being brought to you by Fireboard, makers of the Fireboard 2, the Fireboard Pro, the Fireboard Spark, the Fireboard Beacon, and the all-new wireless Fireboard Pulse. When you use the Fireboard app and you are connected to your LAN, you have total access to all devices anywhere in the world. You can find out more by visiting fireboard.com. You can call with questions by dialing these numerals, 816-945-2232. And Ted Conrad just might answer the phone and answer all your questions. I wouldn't bet large sums of money on it, but I would at least go with $2 or $3 if you have that to spare. Remember, folks, don't ever bet something that you can't afford. So, 2025's Hartville Hardware Grillfest has come and gone. This past Saturday saw a full day of fun, frivolity, live fire fun, and hijinks, teaching, information, high comedy, legends, celebrity, consumers, and competitors, and high-level executives, and that's just a 30,000-foot view. I would like to thank, first off and foremost, two people at Hartville Hardware, Steve McMillan and Kelly Hill at Hartville Hardware, for continuing to ask your humble host to be the MC for the day. Honestly, it is the highlight of the year for me to host this event, to be able to interact in the live demo cooks with all of those huge barbecue celebrities, to interface with the fans of Live Fire, fans of my show, there were a few, fans of the live fire industry in general who show up at Hartville, Ohio each year and really make this event a jewel in the region. It is. That's not overstepping. I'm not overstating. I'm not ass-kissing Steve and Kelly. And they know, they can see the numbers. They can see where they are in the retail sales for that day compared to all the other big days of the year that they would count on big sales. I mean, this is the grilling sale of the year for them, at least grilling focused. I don't know what Black Friday looks like for them. But from a solely live fire focused promotion, this has to be their biggest day. It is a huge traffic day. It was the biggest Hartville Hardware Grillfest to date. It's the 12th year that it has been going on. The very first year, so 12 years ago, and I can't even believe this, I competed in the very first Hartville Hardware Grillfest. I still have, maybe I threw them out at this point. But for years and years past, I had the scorecards from that first Hartville Hardware Grillfest. And they might be in a box somewhere. But that was my very first competition. I believe I finished middle of the pack. Dr. Barbecue Ray Lampy was the luminary that was there. There were two other jamokes that did live demos. They were trash. Ray was really good. He was, at the time, cooking on the Big Green Egg. I don't even know if we had other grill talent necessarily, like from the other manufacturers. So now, and over the last handful of years, we have had a Traeger representative do live cooking demos. No surprise, that was Danielle Bennett, a.k.a. Diva Q. We've had Mike Lang this was his third year, fourth year maybe fifth year, coming out on the Team Weber to show what he does. Gardo's won. I believe we've just pulled even. Thoughts and prayers to David Fry, who got hit in the face with a fastball in this game. Yikes, he's my favorite player. Anyway, back on track. So Mike Lang's been coming a number of years on Team Weber, and then This year and the year before last, we had Captain Ron, Big Green Egg, Team Big Green Egg. I'm getting some baseball updates. It's almost playoff season here. The Gardos and the Detroit Tigers are playing each other. Detroit has pissed away a 15-game lead in the division. And with their loss tonight to the Guardians, the Cleveland Guardians are now first place in the division. They've completed the biggest comeback in Major League Baseball history within the division. But we're not talking about that, and this is not a sports show. So Captain Ron has been Big Green Egg 2 of the last 3 years. I would sit here and say that between the 3 manufacturers that show up and send talent to do live cooking demos, comparatively over the last dozen years, Big Green Egg has really sucked at that. And the addition or the availing of Captain Ron has upped the Big Green Egg game and the amount of people that probably show up. So the talent level in the live demo 10 continues to raise every year. A little bit of a backstep last year. It was kind of a last-minute cancellation. Ron got sick. They backfilled with, I think he was a competitor. He was not very good. I did a lot of heavy lifting, no fault of his, but you're tossed in a situation. You don't really know how to navigate that thing. I coaxed him along best I could. But Captain Ron back again this year. So, as I said, the varsity team was back in there. There was an outside shot at a Rashid Phillips a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, I was hearing about it. He was like, yeah, I'm coming in. And something happened, and he wasn't talking directly with Hartville. There was some other promotional team involved in the middle of that. All those people got fired. Communication dropped off. Timing got messed up, and then there was no Rashid, unfortunately. Would have loved to have met him in person, see how he interacts with the crowd, see what kind of crowd he draws. So you're wondering, how does the day lay out? Well, I'm glad you asked. I arrive on site at 0800, fresh cup of Starbucks Blonde Americano, hot and black, because I drank black coffee. That's another take I've been waiting to get to for the last number of months, if not over a year at this point, is why we should all be drinking black coffee. But I'll get to it at some point when time allows. So, fresh blonde Americano, hot and black, Bente in size. And I'm ready to rock. Premium cigar enjoyed in the mobile lounge on the way down to set the mood. Hit my fresh palate with one of my best cigars, a McAuliffe no less, which I certainly enjoyed. And then we're finding Steve, we're finding Kelly, we're huddling up with some of the talent, trying to get some ideas of is what we are game planning for is still going to happen from a Steve Kelly side. Here's some of the giveaways we're going to be doing. Just a little refresh on expectation of me and interacting with the crowd, keeping the day moving. All right. Then I immediately dart over to Mike Lang in the Weber tent. And what are we making, Mike? And is there anything that's changed since the last time we talked? And is there anything special that you want me to mention? How do you want me to run the demo for you, or do you want me to bring some things up like they're questions, but something for you to riff off of? Because I'm just here to facilitate. I'm a moderator at best. I'm not giving any opinion necessarily. I'm trying to just ask the questions that I think the general public watching would want to ask. So then we go right across the vendor's aisle over to the Traeger tent, and I run down Diva Q, first time I've seen her in literally a year. Do a little catch up. How's the family? Diva Q now freshly married or freshly engaged again. Third or fourth time's the charm, Danielle. That's what I always say. And so same recap with Danielle that I had with Mike. Get all my ducks in a row with her. And then jaunt on over to the Big Green Egg tent where I reintroduce and meet Captain Ron again. Not that we didn't know who we were, but hit his menu items and anything that he might want to bring up. And away we go. So now I go through the competition tent because it is really a three-pronged monster that's happening in Hartville. You have the Hartville Hardware store itself, so maybe it's a four-headed monster. Again, largest independent hardware retailer in the country. The store is huge. Many tens, if not hundreds of thousands of square feet under roof. In the main building, there is even a lower level that I still have never seen, but I believe there is one. There is a full-sized home in the middle of the store, full-sized home, ranch home, but full-size home nonetheless, concept home. And then there are a number of full-size home facades that are behind the full-size home to give you an idea of what a kitchen would look like or what a living room would look like and giving you that home facade, if you will. The store is huge, many brands, appliances, knickknacks, trinkets, things to fix everything, things I wouldn't even know how to use. Huge retail area right there, the Hartville Hardware store itself. By the way, they just opened a new location, Middlefield, Ohio, in case you ever go down there or you'd like to hang out with the Amish, because they start there and then they proliferate. Then, another head of the monster, the live demo tent, where I spend most of my day interacting with the live demo cooks that are happening. Then, there is a whole vendor area. The vendor area has been transformed and moved to in front of the store, if you will, where the old competitor's tent used to be. The aisle wider for people to kind of go in and out of. You can have 2-3 different lines of traffic if you need to, because the vendors are setting up, they're giving food, they're giving giveaways, a lot of free shit. What do we know? People love free shit, and Hartville Hardware Grillfest 2025 did not lack on vendors bringing free food and free swag, and a combination of all of those leading to huge crowds. There was one point where I asked Steve, I said, hey, like, how's attendance? Because I think the revamp of where the competition tent went and where they put the vendors this year really helped with the overall flow of sheer amounts of human beings. And it was more efficient, much more efficient. Sure, at points there were lines, there was some congestion. There's a cash wrap coming outside of a main entrance into just the grilling sector. So depending on how busy those are and how busy the cash register is, that can lead to some congestion, which has always been there every year. And that's going to happen, especially as you get into that, let's call it noon to 2 or 11 to 2 o'clock range, when a lot of the buyers are coming in to get their best deals on stuff. So you have that whole retail and vendor area. That's another head to that monster. Then you have Weber and Big Green Egg and Traeger right near each other, and they're giving a lot of food samples out to the public, trying to showcase, hey, our grills make the best food, and everybody's going head to head to head and some friendly competition. No shortage of lines, no shortage of free food samples that are coming from Weber and Traeger and Big Green Egg, not to mention all the vendors and what they were doing. Some people were breaking down early. They were through the food. Like, that was it. We have nothing left to go. And you know how people are. You run out of free stuff, and their want to just chop it up with you on talk isn't necessarily at the highest level unless they have a free slice of pizza or burger or whatever you're doing. So some people were blowing through it, probably to their surprise, probably their first time or second time around, and realized that every year continues to get bigger and better. And then the final head of this monster is the competition tent, because, oh, by the way, not only is this live demo, cooking, education, and instruction, not only is this a big retail, not only is this a showcase of vendors and specifically Big Green Egg, Weber, Traeger, there's a whole competition that's going on in the parking lot. There's a barbecue competition, barbecue spare ribs and steak that they have to turn in. And then there is also a black box challenge that happens there as well. Lots of stuff going on. A lot of things to keep your finger on the pulse of if you are the MC of that day. But I am a professional, if nothing else. So, 10 a.m. live demo with BBQ, She's teaching the crowd to spatchcock chicken. And at 10 a.m., that live demo booth is packed back to back with people ready to soak up everything that Diva has to say. No offense to Mike Lang. No offense to Captain Ron. And I know they would say you don't need to say no offense because Diva just packs them in. I don't know who would be a better live demonstrator than Danielle Bennett. She is personable. She is knowledgeable. She is snarky. She is everything that makes a live personality great in that realm. In fact, the only person that could possibly be better at her is me. I lack the serious cooking knowledge that she has. I would like to think that I would make up for that in the personality aspect and ability to talk and crack jokes and work the crowd a little bit. But she is the star. That's why she has 2 live demos. So she won at 10 with the spatchcock, and then, of course, she comes back again 1 p.m. to do the steak demo that everybody loves, where she stacks up 14 big 1.5-inch ribeye steaks, and then she cuts them all down the middle and parts the sea ocean or the steak ocean, and everything is the same color from top to bottom. What I found specifically unique this year, and I was paying really close attention, is that as she potted the steaks, you could see in real time the inside of those steaks bloom. I don't ever recall seeing it bloom like that before, but it was pretty magical to see. And everybody loves it, racing up, taking the pictures as she starts to cut those steaks through and through and then turn them all inside out so you can see the insides of those steaks from top to bottom. Okay, so it wasn't like 14 or 15, but it was definitely like 8 to 10 steaks, and these were big. Then at 11 a.m., Mike Lang had a decent turnout for his live demo. He did pork tenderloin sliders with a tangy slaw topping. Those were delicious. Again, BBQ back at 1 for the steak demo. 2 o'clock, Captain Ron from Big Green Egg doing a lobster mac and cheese recipe. I would say, and I haven't made it yet, no offense to Doug, Ron's recipe might almost be easier than Doug's and probably has between 8 and 10 pounds less cheese than Doug's recipe as well. From what I saw Sam, the cooking guy, make a couple days ago. And then at 3 o'clock, barbecue turn-ins, and 4 o'clock results of the barbecue contest. Prizes awarded to the tune of this year really cool cast iron pan trophies. Each category winner, that being Traeger, Weber, and Big Green Egg, get a $250 gift card into Hartville Hardware. Then those 3 are pitted against each other to determine an overall winner, and then the overall winner gets an additional $250 gift card. So winner getting $500 to go spend inside Hartville Hardware, which can be spent inside of 5 minutes if you know what you're doing. And then they get a really cool trophy, bragging rights until next year. Not a repeat winner, a new winner this year, but it was Weber taking it. I want to say maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years out of the 12 we've been doing it. Weber has won the overall grand. Usually it's the Big Green Egg and Traeger duking it out at the end. I would like to give a special mention to our friend Aaron Huntelman over at Go Big or Go Barbecue for winning the Traeger side of it. He went home with $250, a nice trophy. Came in second place overall, and he won the black box, the mystery box food challenge. So that happened at 11:45. So between 11 and 1. What's interesting is at 11:45. So let's see, 11:45, black box goes out. They have a half an hour to turn something in. And then you have Mike, Danielle, and Captain Ron and Steve judging 21 entries times, 1 bite. So they're eating till like 1 o'clock. And then 2 hours later, they're turning around. The same people are judging the ribs and steak category. So they're taking at least 1 bite of rib and 1 bite of steak times 21 turn-ins. That's 42 bites of food after they've already done the black box challenge review. Crazy. A huge event. And then, as always, as the tradition has become, post-show cigars, special cigar and like bourbon tasting school, as Matt Kusick also stopped by and hung out as he did last year. So Matt is probably going to have to become a regular on the show because he knows so much about bourbon, and he's so personable and so knowledgeable, and he's got all these great stories and so much great. He's like the Mr. J of bourbon. I got to have him on. He's got to align with my vision. He's got to do it. So, in closing, the biggest grill fest ever to date. Next year promises to be bigger than that, as every year has been bigger than the previous year. Thanks to Steve and Kelly again for having me as the host. I'm looking forward to doing it again next year if you'll have me. And if you are in the area, already start marking all of your weekends off for next September. It's going to be in next September. Usually it's the third Saturday of September. I used to try to not compete with the American Royal, but I believe that is now moved into November at this point, so I don't even think you need to worry about competing with it. Just a great time. And I really got to interact with the crowd during the barbecue judging portion. I had about 35 minutes. I'm doing giveaways. We're doing winery or rehab. We're doing 100% assurity questions. A lot of people knew about that, so just a fun time. Really enjoyed it and looking forward to 2026. All right. 75% of the embedded correspondents are in. I was wondering if Rusty was going to be able to make it or if he even remembered it was the fourth Tuesday. He's a very busy man. But we'll be back with 3 of the 4, if nothing else. I can tell you that. Stand by. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
This portion of the show being brought to you by Pit Barrel Cooker, the most unbelievable outdoor cooking device on the planet. Currently available in 3 sizes with a host of accessories. Whether you're a beginner or a professional, it's definitely a cooker you want to add to the arsenal. Visit pitbarrelcooker.com and tell them the Barbecue Central Show sent you. I guess I didn't realize talking for a whole extra segment after talking for the whole open could do damage on the voice. All right, well, nevertheless, it is the fourth Tuesday of a month. It is 35 past the first hour. It is not where you would normally find these guys. I'm trying to figure out if I even want a button. Just in case he shows up, we better not do anything. We are joined by our pals, the Embedded Correspondents. There they are right there. So we have Doug just to the right of me from Texas Longest Running. We have John Solberg right over there to the far right, just next to Doug. You would normally see Rusty right below me from Salt City Barbecue. I don't know where he is. He's probably working or not realizing it's the fourth Tuesday of the month and thinking the last Tuesday. I believe we have a bonus week in this month, but it could be. No, I don't think we do have a bonus week. I think it's just the fourth week. And then we have Matt Osman from Tennessee just below Doug right there as well. So this is the show every year where we put in a 2025 Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame. We are going to do that after we do what I guess would be an abridged 100% assurity question. I will then ask for your patience as we tie up a first hour, we go into the second hour, and then we start putting in a Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame after that. We do not have to take the whole hour doing that. If we take it organically, fine. If we go over that hour organically, fine. We have to come up with a class. We all know this. It has to be unanimous voting, and we all know this. And instead of starting it now and going into the second hour with that, I figure we could do some surety questions because everybody loves that. And then we can focus on the Hall of Fame going forward from there. So, Doug or John or Matt, if I might impress upon or ask if you could maybe shoot Rusty a text real quick. Go ahead, Doug.
I did, and
Okay.
he said he's trying to log in and he's having a problem.
Yeah, same thing.
I don't even know what that means. He's having a problem. Yikes. All links worked last week. All right. Is that right? Yeah, all links worked last week. Good. All right. Well, hopefully Rusty can get it figured out, or he might have to reboot his computer from scratch and come in from there. We need him for the Hall of Fame for sure. So hopefully he gets that worked out. Before we get to the surety questions, let's go ahead and do a YouTube poll question of the week. Because we're asking everybody this, including all guests. Doug, you own or have owned a ceramic cooker of some type?
No, I have not.
John, you have owned or own a ceramic cooker of some type?
Yes, I do.
Matt, you have owned or owned a ceramic cooker of some type?
Yes, I have.
Obviously, I am experiencing the summer, now fall of Primo, so I certainly do as well. 65% of the YouTube voting public are saying no. They have never owned or do not own a ceramic cooker of any type. All right, so just like last month, Doug, we will start with you on every question so I don't have to figure out how to keep track because I am aging quick. Doug, 100% yes, 100% no. The Under-Seasoned Barbecue Podcast got it right when they placed Daniel Vaughn as the #1 most influential person in barbecue across the globe.
I like that question. I'm going to go ahead and say yes because I can't think of a better one.
Right, we'll debate that here just in a second. Oh, sorry. John, 100% yes or 100% no. The Under-Seasoned Barbecue Podcast got it right when they placed Daniel Vaughn as the #1 most influential person in barbecue across the globe.
100% no.
No. Not shocked with that. Matt, 100% yes or 100% no. The Under-Seasoned Barbecue Podcast got it right when they placed Daniel Vaughn as the #1 most influential person in barbecue across the globe.
With no disrespect to Mr. Vaughn, I don't think so. No, he did not. They did not.
I'm going to say yes. They did get it right. I'm going to align with Doug here. So John and Matt align, and Doug and I align. John, who is more influential in barbecue across the globe than Daniel Vaughn? If you were the Under-Seasoned podcast, who would be your #1?
Anyone that actually barbecues. Daniel doesn't barbecue. He just talks about barbecue.
No, he cooks
Period.
in the backyard.
He's not
like
a
me.
barbecue. Oh, yeah, great. Yay. Okay, good for him. Like it's like anybody but like really like that's like and it's like that podcast doesn't typically get anything right anyway, so why would I expect them to now?
Matt, who should be #1 if you were the Under-Seasoned Barbecue Podcast owners?
Specific to your question, across the globe. Across the globe. Currently, I would have a hard time between Tuffy Stone or one Mr. Al Fragoni.
All right. Doug, why do you think they got it right?
I think even though he doesn't cook barbecue, as John says, competitively, and I would always think of competition type people, but the reach and the excitement every 4 years of the Texas Monthly Top 50, it just has an influence on a lot of people, and it drives a lot of people to Texas. So, but now that I'm thinking about it, maybe internationally, maybe Reichland might be up there on that list just from that's international. So, but no, I just think he has a real far reach.
So I noodled on this for quite a bit because when I saw he was #1, my knee-jerk reaction was what John said. What? And then I said, take a beat. Think this through. Do something you never do. take some time and think something through for once. And I said, all right, here I go. And the more I thought about it and the more I debated with myself, because of course I'm back and forth, I'm hypocrite number one in the state of hypocrisy. I said, if you really think about it, and I don't care if he cooks barbecue or not, we're just talking about influence here. If Daniel Vaughn is in Texas and he votes Doug Scheiding's barbecue is number one, Doug Scheiding is going to see a landfall of popularity. If Doug is on 1 through 10, Doug is going to see a landfall of popularity. If Doug is on the top 50 list, his revenues will be better than they were the day before. Influential there. If Daniel travels across the country and he's eating barbecue and he mentions John's barbecue in Michigan is really good. Yeah, it's Texas style, but it's really good. John's revenue numbers are going to be better than they were the day before. So to expand on that, when Daniel goes to Paris or Turkey or Spain, if he finds a barbecue restaurant and he likes it and he posts something good about it, somebody in Spain is going to go to that restaurant. Daniel Vaughn, absolutely the most influential person in barbecue on that thinking. And then, of course, I say, well, maybe I'm overstepping, and he's actually not. But then I go back to saying, yeah, you know what? I think I'm right on that. So we'll say that I'm right. All right, 100% yes or 100% no. Doug, Ray Lampe should have been ranked higher than 152.
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay, stand by. Rusty Monson. Oh, man. I mean, Rusty, I'm in the middle of the show. I can't do tech stuff. Let me re-ask. I got caught up in a moment. Doug, Ray Lampe should have been ranked higher than 152.
Yes, he's not over the hill yet.
John, Ray Lampe should have been higher.
Yes, he should have been higher.
Matt, Ray Lampe should have been higher.
100% yes.
That's
3 in a row.
Right. I will say he should have at least been in the top 150. So that is higher than 152. 100% yes or 100% no. Doug, you should have been somewhere on that list.
No, I don't think so.
John, Doug should have been on that list.
I'm just going to agree with you, Doug. It's not personal.
That's 2. Matt, Doug should have been on the list.
I'm going to disagree with Doug. I think he should have. There were some people on there,
Matt kissing ass? No, Doug should not have been on the list. That's all right. 100% yes or 100% no, Doug. John should have been on that list.
No offense, no.
See, we're getting back at each other now. John, you should have been on that list.
No, Doug is 100% correct.
All right.
I should not have been.
Matt, John should have been on that list.
No, he should not have.
Interesting. I mean, on the strength of his Instagram game alone, yes, John should have been on that list. He is influencing thousands and thousands of people. There are people on that list. I have no idea who they are. They are not nearly influencing as many people as John is on a day-to-day basis. And there's no question about it. It's not up for arguing. It's just facts. 100% yes or 100% no. Doug, Rusty should be on that list.
No.
John, Rusty?
No, he should not be on the list.
Right. Matt, Rusty should be on that list.
Unfortunately not. No.
I agree. We have a unanimous no on Rusty. All right, go ahead, Doug.
Maybe we should go back to John because Is he not the producer of the second longest running?
Well, I told you I was
show?
right.
And you are the only one. And you are the only one that was on that list from a barbecue podcast show. Or am I wrong on that?
I was on that list.
Yes.
You did this last time.
It's a bit.
Yes.
It's a bit.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know the last time. I didn't know last week. Daniel Vaughn alerted me to that.
I don't
Or
believe
Steve.
that to be true. But
Steve
anyway.
alerted me.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. No, I knew I was right with John. So, everybody else took a shit on John, but I was right. John should be on that list. He's the executive producer of The Best Moments. He is a influencer on Instagram. He is a live fire cook. I mean,
Ghost
what
Rider.
does not John do? What does not he do?
He
I don't
makes
know.
charcoal.
That's right. John makes charcoal, rolls cigars, and breaks and pops his own coffee for crying out loud. I mean, the list goes on. The list would be shorter on what John does not do, and that's truth. Hey, Doug, Matt should be on that list.
I thought we went off on this. Neither me nor Matt. No.
No? John, Matt. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Yeah, Matt should be on this list.
Oh, yeah.
We did
went
Rusty.
Sorry.
Yeah, we did Rusty.
My apologies. My apologies. No.
John?
No, nothing personal, Matt.
Matt, you should be on that list.
Only if it was the top 1,000. No, not the top 1,000.
Yeah, not even the top 1,000. It's no.
Oh, wow.
It's definitely enough. It's definitely enough. All right. 100% yes or 100% no. Doug, I should have ranked higher than 143rd.
I was actually a little surprised it was so low. Yes.
Right. John, I should have ranked higher than 143rd.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Matt, higher than 143?
All day, 100% yes.
Yes. I mean, if you're asking me, I should have been number one. That's higher than 143. I mean, ask me everything. Where should I be? Well, if you're asking me, I should be at the top, but I'm not the one putting out the list. I should always be at the top of every list. Go ahead, Matt.
You can't. If you agreed that Daniel was accurate at number one, and you come back and say that you should have been number one.
Yeah, but now I'm asking the question: should I have been higher?
Oh,
So,
well, okay,
yes.
yes.
There you go. All right, gents, hang out here. Maybe we're going to come back. You know what? Just let me break my own format here. We'll get the last question out of the way. Let me tie that up, Matt. I believe they got it right, but if you're asking me, I should always, if you're ever asking me anything, I should either always win, I got cheated, I should be number one. I mean, come on, who are we talking about here? All right, last question. 100% yes or 100% no? Proving that my hypocrisy knows no bounds. I have used the Hardcore Carnivore everyday carry steak knife in the past 30 days, keeping in mind I was at Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse just last evening in Columbus, Ohio, enjoying perhaps one of the best steaks I have ever had at a steak restaurant, short of St. Elmo. I have used that knife in the past 30 days. Doug, yes or no?
Well, I'm happy to report, of course you did not.
I mean, you're not reporting anything. You weren't there in the last 30 days. You don't know if I did or not. John, my hypocrisy is at new heights. I've used the knife.
It's going to be me. It's going to be me. Yes, you did.
Oh, wow. Okay. Matt, 100% yes or 100% no? Proving my hypocrisy knows no bounds. I have used the Hardcore Carnivore everyday carry steak knife in the past 30 days.
Giving John all the glory. Unfortunately, I'm going to say no.
No. Actually, Matt is Captain Positive over there, and still no Rusty. That really worries me about our guest Hall of Fame stuff here. Look, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. About 60 days ago, I lost the everyday carry steak knife. So the answer is no. I have not.
Wow.
I mean, I literally told you last month, say no. Without saying I've lost the knife, I basically told you I lost the knife. I said, please don't do it. So allow me to reintroduce myself and say, next month, When I ask the question again, say no. I will have not used it. And then we can go from there. All right. Well, I mean, I thought we were going to get through that one, but good old John stepping in and taking one for the team. All right, stand by. We are going to bridge into the second hour here. I don't know what to do about Rust. Yeeks. While I'm breaking here, can one of you guys message Rusty and have him do like a full computer reboot? Like, I need him. I don't know if I can do even the second hour. We might have to put this off. Like, he's a voting member of the Guest Hall of Fame class. This is worrying. It's troublesome. All right, while we wait on the hopeful technological ghouls to get out of Rusty's internet, let me talk to you quickly about folks over at Big Papa Smokers. Of course, we know him as Sterling Ball, Amy Acox, all the great folks over there. Whether you're chasing grand championships or just aiming to impress your next backyard cookout, Big Papa Smokers has the rubs that deliver results. Trusted by competition pros and weekend grillers alike. Our award-winning lineup like Sweet Money, Competition Brisket and Steak, Cash Cow, Cattle Prod bring bold, proven flavors to every cut. And for a limited time, they've brought back the fan-favorite Cucaracha for a fiery kick that turns up the heat on any cook. Barbecue Central Show listeners, this one is for you, or watchers. Use promo code BBQCentral25 at checkout for free ground shipping now through October 31st. So just a little bit over a month now. October 31st. Use promo code BBQ Central at checkout for free ground shipping now through October 31st, 2025. BigPapaSmoker.com. That's Big Papa Smokers with an S at the end. BigPapaSmokers.com. Hook up with all the good stuff and save yourself on the shipping because everybody loves save that money. Still no Rusty. Yikers. We will wrap the first hour and then we will start praying together. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the BBQ Central Show. Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the BBQ Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Guy the Cooking Sam in the instant chat. I just got an Amber Alert for 300-pound sweaty middle-aged male in Utah. Well, that explains everything. That explains everything. Still no Rusty. I'm looking at the box. Hopefully he's doing a reboot. You know, here's what I'm wondering out loud, if we have a moment. Doug, I'm going to task you with something, because we have a little time here. I want you to go into the document that has all of the links and log in with Rusty's link and see if you show up in the third window here. You able to do that? I can't really see you, so you can go in, or if any one of you guys has that page open still, if you still use that for the links, try and log in as Rusty on his link and see if we see you in this currently vacant window. Anyway, if you missed the first hour, we are recording. Just got through with a stimulating and abridged 100% assurity question that was very underseason podcast oriented. If you're not familiar with that, they released a most influential in the live fire industry list. I believe it was last week. They were doing a big countdown for some amount of time, and then they've released the full 150 persons list. So if you're interested in that, you go to underseason.com, and you can start at 1, or you can start at 152 or 153. There is that last button says 150 to 175, but it's only going to 153, at least for me. Maybe my browser doesn't count that high. Stops at 153. All right, go ahead and refresh your libations. We are heading to the second hour where we will put in... Yeah, Doug got in. Yikes. That could be a bigger Rusty issue than I even care to want to think about at this point. Maybe with Doug's going into it, and it's flushed all the demons out of it. Now, Rusty... Doug, why don't you give Rusty your link, and you can use Rusty's link. Maybe that'll fix everything. Doug, please help me logistically while I'm hosting the show. Is that possible? Doug earning the salary tonight, ladies and gentlemen. All right, stick around. Be right back.
Hi, this is Gene Acasella from Port St. John, Florida, and you're listening to the Really Big Barbecue Central Show.
Happy to have you aboard here for the Really Big Barbecue Show.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me! Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude!
Succulent fish! What?
He ate sushi for wiener.
Oh, listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we are into the second hour. It's the Barbecue Central Show, where we talk about only the most important barbecue and grilling items of the day. Still to come on the show tonight, the 2025 Barbecue Central Show Guest Hall of Fame nominations and inductions all in one show. It happens just like that every year, and this is the time of the year that it happens. We say good evening to those of you watching this show tonight through one of our video streaming platforms. You can go to facebook.com/BBQ Central Show, or you can watch on YouTube, which is youtube.com/@BBQ Central Show. We do have a YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody. Do you own or have you owned some type of ceramic cooker? And currently 62% of you are saying no, so continuing to trend down a little bit. Coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less this coming Friday as we broach into the next 400 episodes. Episode 401 taking you back to September 23rd of 2008. Guy by the name of Bob Beeman from Gold's Barbecue in the Pacific Northwest. The live show at this point, only 7 months of age. History shows that Bob Beeman, in the beginnings of the show, a competitive barbecuer out there in, I believe it was Seattle, Washington, definitely Pacific Northwest, as I had mentioned a couple seconds ago. He was a big fan of the show. He was what I would call a semi-frequent caller to the show when we had a phone line to actually take phone calls, and was always good for a nugget of information or, hey, I love the show, or giving a Pacific Northwest barbecue take on what the barbecue and grilling community was doing back in 2008. Remember, in 2008, competition barbecue was very popular, was exploding, really, and Bob was riding that wave as well. So be sure to be on the lookout for a Bob Beeman of Gold's Barbecue coming up this Friday. You can subscribe to that show and the show by visiting thebbqcentralshow.com/subscribe. Also, don't forget, if you want to hear a guest or a segment again that's been lost in the archives, email John, Jon, at thebbqcentralshow.com, and he will do his best to meet your expectation on all of that. All right, we will waste no more time. Doug, did you tell Rusty to use your link? And you use Rusty's link since you popped in on that side? Maybe that gets Rusty in if he uses your link. I don't really have you on. I'm just asking. All right, so we got a couple minutes to see if Rusty can get this figured out. And if not, what's the old saying? The show must go on. We will put in a 2025 Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame class, sans Rusty. We will still have to be unanimous. And this class, I hate to say, could possibly be put in with an asterisk. We don't want that. So we'll hope that Rusty shows up here in the next 2 minutes. But we'll see what happens. We do have a plan of attack to go forward from here. So stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by McAuliffe Cigars. Step into the world of McAuliffe Cigars, where each blend is a chapter in a grand tale of craftsmanship and passion. The color series has grown by one. There is the black, the blue, the red, the purple, and now the new green. And we will have Amanda McAuliffe on the show next week. By the way, I was right. There is an extra Tuesday in this month as well. So we have the bonus 5th week in September here as we close out the end of quarter number 3. McAuliffeCigars.com is the place to go. Use the locator to find a retailer nearest you. And now we are going to do it. The 2025 Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame class nominations and inductions. And potentially in a last-ditch effort, Rusty Monson is using probably his phone. Rusty, landscape that phone if you don't mind, and we can probably get a bigger picture of you there. Oh, wow, look at that. I mean, even closer than I've ever wanted to be, and I assume that phone's probably going to have a decent microphone unless you've figured out some way to pipe that microphone into the phone itself. Let's do a quick sound check. Rusty, check 1 2, check 1 2.
Check 1 2. Can you hear me?
I can. Boy, do I hate it, but we're going to live through it because this is a very important time in our show career, and you are really trying to be here, so I appreciate the fact that... Oh, and just like that, he's gone. You there, Rusty?
Yep.
Oh, okay. The picture has gone away, so now the picture is back. Great. So I'm going to just...
my wife using my earbuds.
Got it.
So
all right.
we have better volume.
Yeah, no worries. We can hear you. That's the most important part. And we will go from there. All right, so this is how it's going to work for everybody that's new to watching the show and learning about what this Guest Hall of Fame thing is. We started it back in 2018. We put a whole bunch of people in, and then from there we got a little bit more discerning. We are going to be putting a total of 5 people into this Barbecue Guest Hall of Fame class. We will go around the pods here. Everybody is going to nominate somebody. So Doug is going to start. He's going to list his 5 nominations, and then John is going to go next. He will list out his 5 people, and then Rusty, and then Matt, and then myself. We will be keeping track. I will be keeping track. If, and I said this might happen this year, by sheer organic happenstance, we all happen to mention the same person, all 5 of us, that's an automatic in to the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Famer. It's unanimous from all of us. We all voted for the same person. So that person should reap the reward of being nominated by 5 experts like ourselves. They should get into the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame without any further debate. Probably not going to happen. So from there, we will go back around and each person will go ahead and pick one of their 5 nominees and do what we call a re-argue for their access into the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame. We will then go back around for a yay or nay. Everybody's got to agree that the re-argue was worth it and that person gets into the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame, and we will continue to go around and around and around until we come up with 5 names. That's how we've done it every year for as long as I can remember, and that's how we're going to do it again this year. Rusty, I did have half a mind to do a very quick, rapid-fire, 100% assurity question, but maybe if we get through this really quick, we'll do that at the end just for fun and giggles, because it was kind of actually fun to do a quick version of that there in the first hour. All right. Here we go. It's nomination time for the Guest Hall of Fame 2025. Doug, let me write your name down here on paper and go ahead in no particular order. Go ahead and give your name, and then if you want to do any kind of talk up or post amble on their names, you also have that ability to do as well.
Okay, the first one on my list, and I cannot believe this person is not in the same way that we did that last year. Melissa Cookston.
Right, Melissa Cookston, Yazoo's Delta Q, also restaurateur, also barbecue supply store as well. So Melissa Cookston. All right, go ahead. I didn't realize she wasn't in.
It's unbelievable.
That's right.
Yeah, she's been in over 10 times.
Oh, yes.
And guess how many times she's been on John's show?
How many times?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. It's 5.
Wow, many times.
Guess how many times that she's been on an After Dark segment?
3 times.
Oh, you're close. It's 2, but yes, I like your enthusiasm though.
So she's been around long time.
Long time.
Yeah,
Embarrassing that she's not in the same way that was it
Chris Lilly.
Gibson, so.
Yeah.
Chris Lilly. Yeah.
Yep.
Big Bob Gibson. So,
All right. Melissa Cookston for Duck. All right.
Okay. And I will continue to beat the drum. My next person is Wes Wright.
Right.
He's been on 38 times. I know he's a regular guest. Mechanical engineer, which I happen to like. Finance wizard and M&A. And he is the source of news. And he is our new, Derek Riches of the show.
Yep.
And with no offense to Derek, but Derek had his grisliness that Wes is not quite so grisly, but has pretty good personality, if I can say. All right, number 3. This might be a little bit of a hometown pick, but I'm picking him first and not you, Greg. I'm going with Michael Simon. 3 times a guest. 1 time EP 220. And I think EP 220 and 349. So he's been on 2 of those, 2 best ofs.
Wow.
Yes. And he was on 2 when you used to do the year-end summaries. I think you only did maybe 3 or so of those. He was on 2 of the 3.
Big mentions. All right. Good one there. Number 4.
Okay. This is always... I'm going to go with Mr. Andy Husbands.
Oh, wow. All right.
He's very well-rounded.
Yep.
Very educational. Can talk about all parts of barbecue. And he has been on...
5 times?
5 times, exactly.
Okay.
And on 2 EPs. 124 and 331.
Right. Rounding out Doug's 5 here.
And rounding out my 5, the 5th one was kind of a wild card for me. And I can't believe I'm going to say this.
All right.
Because I wasn't a big fan
last
year.
Last year.
But I learn something every time this guy's on, and he's not even talking about barbecue.
Oh, my
I'm
Lord.
going with Mr. Jonathan.
Wow.
Yes.
That is left field. Was that your left field one?
Yes, that's my left field one.
Okay, yeah,
I have 2 left
we're definitely
field
not
ones.
going to do that. We're not on the same page there. Wow, all right. Mr. J from Cigar Authority. All right, so Doug has nominated Melissa Cookston, Wes Wright, Michael Simon, Andy Husbands, and Mr. Jonathan Barbeau from the Cigar Authority podcast and Barbecue Central Show's Cigar Expert Official. John, you are next. In no particular order or in particular order, whatever you would like. Let's give us number 1.
I'm going to just take care of the low-hanging fruit first and go, my number 1 is Wes Wright.
Wes.
For all the reasons. And I think this is my 3rd year, I think, on my list.
Right.
Wes Wright. My number 2 on the list is Andy Husbands.
Wow.
Because I felt like I knew I was going to make Rusty happy this year. So we're going with that.
Right.
So, and then I kind of went deep on some of these. So I think my number 3 is Barry C.B. Martin. Chef Barry from back in the day.
All right.
And going long again on this one, Billy Carroll, who was the best I can determine, the first in-studio guest ever. And so Billy Carroll. And then on my 5th, to keep things moving, I'm going with Stephen DeFranco.
Wow.
The jeweler to the barbecue stars.
Jeweler to the barbecue stars. Also, once or twice an in-studio guest as well when the show was coming live and direct from...
For the 3rd year in a row, Andy Husbands. 4th year, probably.
Andy.
However long I've been on here.
Husbands. All right.
He's my guy. I actually picked Michael Simon too. I was actually surprised to see he wasn't on there already. I thought we did that last year, but I guess I was wrong. And then Todd Bullock.
Wow, Todd Bullock.
Yeah.
Hopefully that one
he deserves
come
all
up
the
for
accolades
discussion.
that and then Emily Detweiler, we're gonna throw that one in because I have to. I mean, I might beat this. This might be the last time I beat this horse. So just so you guys know.
I mean, if you feel passionate,
so
there's no reason to drop people off. I mean, at some point,
my
she could work
passion's
in, right?
fading as she fades. She fades in the fades. You don't see her much anymore, obviously. So
obviously.
And then honestly, I went with Wes Wright too. Just this was my nod to John. And it was funny when he said nod to me on Andy Husbands because I picked Wes Wright for that reason. So there you go.
Wow. All right. So we are 3/3 or 3/5 of the way to a potential 2 organic unanimous names. This is very close here. Andy Husbands and Wes Wright have made all 3 nominations at this point. So this is very exciting. Now we will go over to Matt. Matt, go ahead and list out your 5.
All right, I'm going to take a screenshot live so that way it can be sent for proof, but in no particular order, but I can show you the screenshot with the timestamp. My number 1, Wes Wright.
All right, Wes. Right, all right, so no pressure on me. Great.
Sorry. I probably went alternative for the other 4, but I'm gonna go one Maddie Rempe.
Maddie Rempe. All right.
That's what I was gonna do.
But Emily Detweiler makes the
before.
list. I mean, okay, but whatever.
Yeah. We'll do it next year.
And if I'm not mistaken, just a pitch for, to my knowledge, the only person to host additionally and guest.
I mean, outside of Steve Ray had hosted a number of times. using a different platform to stream the show, but we were using the same platform at the time, and he had done 2 or 3 different fill-in guest hosts during the live show, and has also been a guest, obviously. Yeah,
and Huck also. Huck, remember Huck? He did it as well. Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, he did. He did the show for you at least once.
Oh, wow! I don't remember that. But was it good? Well, he was the host.
It's never. Yeah, it's never been a best of. Just saying.
All right. Maddie Rampy, go ahead.
Coming in third, and it doesn't matter, no particular order. I'm gonna go Mr. Rashid Phillips.
All right, Rashid
and
Phillips
coming in number. This was a toss-up for me for my top 5, but I'm going Mo Kason.
Mo Kason is not in the Hall of Fame.
No, he's not.
Oh. Interesting.
And this, like Doug, was my outlier.
Yep.
I'm going to go one Mr. Matthew Austin Osmond Sr. Yeah, I'm going to self-nominate.
You're voting for yourself?
I'm voting for
myself. Just when I think you couldn't get more baggier. Just raise it up a notch. All right. Well, there's no rule against nominating yourself. So Matt Osmond has nominated himself. He's also nominated Mo Kason, Rashid Phillips, Maddie Rempe, and Wes Wright. So now we're going over to me. Let's see here. All right. So before I get to my nominations, let me just refresh everybody. Last year, Steve Ray, Mike McLeod, Matt Frampton, Chris Young, and Fred Bernardo. They were the class of 2024. I would share my screen with you, but if I share my screen with you, then you're going to see everything else, and I don't want to tip my hand here. So, hey, here's the good news, folks. We have our first unanimous organic ever at Wes Wright.
Whoa!
So, Wes Wright, now I need to change.
We don't get a bell for that one?
I did the crowd cheering, right? You want this?
Yeah.
You want that? You want the EDM horn or whatever it is? All right. So Wes Wright is in. First one in. That's great. So one less argument that we have to do. My next nomination, agreeing with Doug. And let me see if it looks like we were the only two, of course, is Melissa Cookston. Can't believe that she wasn't in there. Number 3 for me. Can't believe nobody said it. Jack Arnold. Absolutely. Total influencer. Number 4. Can't believe he's not in as I go back through the annals of guest history. How about a Travis Clark of Clark Crew Barbecue laying down some of the most incredible interviews that have ever aired on the show? And number 5, and I'm matching somebody in left field, I also nominated Maddie Rempe for Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame. So if Rusty would have dropped Emily and put in Maddie, she would have been 3/5 of the way into the Hall of Fame, if you can believe it. So
the first damn year I don't. The first year I don't.
That's all right, Rusty. Nobody's here passing judgment. 2/5 of the way is Maddie. So we do not have any more unanimous ins, but I'm feeling really good that we have a strong pool of names to go through. So now we will go back to Doug. Doug is going to pick one of his 4 remaining candidates and do a little bolstering on why they should get in. So, Doug, pick the one you feel most fervent about arguing for. John, do you have something first? No? Okay, sorry. Saw the pen go up there. So, Doug, go ahead.
I'm going to go with Andy Husbands. His first, I think, appearance was like 11 years ago. And he's kind of done a metamorphosis, right? So he was by himself with IQ, and then he teamed up with Chris Hart.
Well, Chris Hart was IQ.
But then he teamed up with him.
Yep.
And but when he first time Andy was on, I think he was on by himself. So Then they teamed up, and then they wrote a book. And I just think he's added a lot to the show from a variety of different angles. TV, he's been on TV, he's written books, and I've actually talked to him because I had some issues that I wanted to talk to him about. He returned my call that day and said, "Let me try to help you out with something." And he is an ambassador to barbecue, and so I think he's just one of the nicest guys, and I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
But we are talking about the Guest Hall of Fame. So on the strength of his guest appearances alone, he should be in the Hall of Fame, outside of everything else.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Good argument. John, agree or disagree?
Agree. He's on my original list.
That's right. And I know it's on Rusty's list. And Matt did not have him on his list, but Matt had himself on this list. Matt, is Andy Husbands doing it for you?
Andy Husbands does it for me.
Yes.
Bring him in.
All right. And I will agree here. Andy Husbands, great. So we have a Andy Husbands Guest Hall of Fame induction tonight here. Just for fun history, Doug, the first time Andy Husbands was on the show was not because he was a barbecue guy, it's because I was, oh shit, just hold on. It was because I was watching Hell's Kitchen season 1, which I believe he was a part of. And I was like, wow, I love this guy. He just undercooked chicken, and Gordon Ramsay is just taking it. Everybody seemed to be using Andy as a punching bag in that season. And I reached out. He came on the show. I think he appeared weekly as that season was running its course, and we were trying to wait to see when he got voted out. And at that point, I realized I was in full man love with Andy Husbands and have been a big fan. Both when he is on the show as a guest, which hasn't been nearly enough, and watching him through the career and all of his ascensions into the different worlds of business, barbecue, book writing, and all that fun stuff. So happy to have Andy Husbands in the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame. And now we'll go to John. John, who do you feel most passionate about arguing for of your remaining 4?
Stephen DeFranco. Stephen DeFranco, the jeweler to the barbecue stars. I mean, the guy was on the show regularly in person, always sounded great, always brought something to the party.
Sponsor.
Yeah, for I mean, what,
years.
5, 6, 7 years? So, and always showed up. He was a good, I would say, second to you when he was in the studio. He was always curious. He's very knowledgeable, but he was curious, and the back and forth between you two was pretty magical to me. So, and that's why those in studio appearances when you guys would talk, and so, you know, Stephen DeFranco, there may not be a show today had it not been carried through by Stephen DeFranco, who was a great guest.
All right, we'll go to Rusty. Rusty, yay or nay on Stephen DeFranco?
I've never heard an episode with him on it, so I can't say. So I'm gonna have to say no.
Nope. All right, just like that.
John.
Steve DeFranco
Sorry,
is
John.
out. Rusty, give me a name you are arguing for.
All right. Let's throw this one out here just to see how it goes. I'm gonna say Todd Bullock because Todd is very funny. He's a good guest. He is kind of like the comic relief to Susie's attempted comic relief, and I think he brings a lot to the table. And he's just cool. He's funny. He's like, you know, he's I've always liked when he's on. He brings a lot to it, and he's a weekly or a quarterly guest now with Susie. And I think he's one of the few quarterly guests that isn't on the Hall of Fame yet. So there you go.
All right, Rusty is nominating a Todd Bullock. So I'm going to draw this one out just for fun. Matt, yes or no on Todd Bullock? Are you muted, Matt?
Yes, I was. I'm sorry.
All right, go ahead. Very dramatic.
Susie's already in, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We're all big boys here. Don't spare anybody's
I know,
feelings. It's a quick yes or
I'm
no.
just-
Let's go.
No,
Oh,
I don't think
all
so.
right. Thought we were going to drag that out a little longer. I know John was going to be the hammer on that one eventually. All right, let's go to Matt Osman. Matt, give me one of your remaining 4.
All right. Let's just nip it in the bud. Let's go one Madison. I believe she did a fantastic job filling in. She's been a guest
many times.
I think 4 times in the recent, let's say a year past history, maybe way back a lot more. I thought she deserved the nomination because of her flow. You got several emails and feedback from when she hosted in your absence. She's been charming. She helped me get your shirt size, and I think she just deserves a spot on there.
All right, so Matt is nominating Maddie Rempe. I'll just go first because I also nominated Maddie Rempe, so I go ahead and second that emotion. Doug, Maddie Rempe, yes or no?
I'm going to say I loved her attitude. Once you taught her how to run all of the computers, etc., she was then like, the show is mine. And so that was great. And I'm not going to do it your way. I'm going to do it my way. And you're going to be gone and it's my show. Just like when you're the head cook. So out of respect for that, I will say yes.
All right. So I just want to state, if you feel like this should be a no, like nobody's going to be offended here. So don't say yes just because of me and just because I was going to nominate her. If you want to say no, please, by all means, say no. John, yes or no on Maddie?
I'm sorry, it's a no for me for this year.
This fucking asshole, John. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
God damn right. You're going to put your kid in there over Melissa Cookston? Get the
All
fuck
right.
out of here.
That's
tricky
right.
boy.
All right, here we go. And now we're back to my list, which, by the way, as John brings up, I am arguing most passionately for at this point because Maddie got chopped. Melissa Cookston, I can't believe that she hasn't been in, as Doug laid her stats out when he was doing his initial nominations. I mean, how does somebody that has been on the show that many times, given that many great appearances, given that many hot takes, had hot takes against me that I didn't even know were coming at me until after the fact, all making for great guests, appearances, and then a number of Barbecue Central Show best moments appearances as well. So I don't know. I could go on, but I would just be preaching probably to the choir here. So I believe Doug was a Melissa Cookston. So Doug, just give me a yes real quick so we can confirm you are still in with Melissa Cookston.
Yeah, the 5 EP, the episodes, as well as she was show karma. She wanted to come on before
yes.
in May for the
She
karma.
even called it the show
karma.
Juju is what she called it.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So,
All
yes.
right, John, Melissa Cookston.
Yes, once again, embarrassed that we have overlooked her for this long. Absolutely.
And Rusty, Melissa Cookston, yes or no?
One of my favorite cookbooks of all time, Smoke in the Boys Room. So yeah, hell yeah.
And Matt, do we put Melissa Cookston in?
Wow, on me. Despite not being able to be at her World Junior event at her barbecue shop this weekend, bring her on in, baby.
Yes, all right. Now we have a Melissa Cookston. Very good. All right, we'll go back to Doug. You should have like 3 names left. Which one of those 3 do you love the most?
I'm going to go with. I have 2 names.
Yeah, I'm
left,
sorry,
I
2
think.
names left. Yeah, because
sorry,
had a lot of people going.
Michael Simon.
All right, Michael Simon, the Iron Chef.
I love it how when I was doing my research, I saw that I think he was like a maybe one time when he was supposed to be on the show, and then he never called in, and then when he did finally call in, it was such a big, getting the whale sort of thing. And the last time he appeared on the show, he was so relaxed and calm. It was like he was in, a friend's house talking to us. So I just really enjoy him, and I think he's been a great addition to the show. And I'd like to see him on a little more.
All right, let's go in reverse order. Matt, Michael Simon in the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame, yes or no?
He made my mental list, but not my physical, but I'm going to say yes.
All right. Rusty, Iron Chef, yes or no?
Man, he's absolutely one of my favorite people of all times. I've been following him since literally day one. And I selected him on my list when I was on the toilet today. Just fun fact.
Best thinking is done there.
Because I was on the list, like, who hasn't been in that we need to get in? I was pooping. It was like, I pooped, but I didn't want to wipe yet. I wanted to find out first, because you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to, like...
I mean, we can get through it.
Yes. Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
Put Michael Simon in.
All right. John, Michael Simon, yes or no?
Rusty, just want to say, did you ever hear the episode where he was a guest? And you're okay with it? You just know him, so he's going in. You don't know if he's a good guest or not. So get the fuck out.
Listen,
he ain't going in this year.
You just asked Rempe's daughter.
Yeah, because I have integrity for the Hall of Fame. It's about the Hall of Fame, not who my poop pals are.
Yes. All right. Circling back, John, Michael Simon, yes or no?
No, he's not.
No.
No.
All right. It is a no on Michael Simon. All right, John, who are you putting in, or who would you like to argue for?
All of my guests Rusty will never have heard of, so he's going to kibosh him. So I'm going to yield my fucking time because it was back from a day when the show was, not 3 weeks fucking old. So I got nobody. Move on to the next guy.
Nobody. All right, Rusty. Who do you got?
I mean, here's the thing. I listen to the show all the time, but I don't want to listen to jewelers when I'm listening to a barbecue podcast. I just skip it.
It was a long time ago.
It was barbecue.
It's probably long.
Was
now,
it?
Rusty can be swayed. I mean, if your argument is passionate enough, just because Rusty didn't trace all the way back to 2008 in listening, and I wouldn't expect that a lot of listeners that are new to the show are traipsing back.
I don't have the energy to explain a Barry Martin or a Billy Do-Rag Carroll to anyone tonight. I just don't, because it's like, you got to go listen. You got to figure it out. Like, yeah, it's like, I'm not frustrated. I'm just like, really? Like,
what? This dude was on in 2008? I wasn't even born then. Like, that was a long ass time.
That's why I'm just not going to waste your time. I'm just going to yield.
All right, Rusty.
Your list, though.
You're up.
All right, guys, let's do it again. In lieu of Matty Rempe, let's do Emily Detweiler.
All right. So no explanation needed. We've had that for any number of years. Doug, Emily Detweiler is making it in this year, yes or no?
She was actually on my mental list of including, and just I don't agree with just because she's not in barbecue that we shouldn't.
By the way, you're right. She was a guest, so she's eligible. It doesn't matter if she's in barbecue or not. It's totally irrelevant. She was a guest. Yeah. She's eligible.
I'm going to say yes.
Yes. I'm going to go next. I'm going to say yes, too.
Woohoo.
Matt, Emily Detweiler, in, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Could be number
John,
4. Emily Detweiler, yes or no?
It's got nothing to do with you, Rusty. Just because someone is maybe not relevant within the show today does not mean that they are not relevant to the show overall.
Correct.
So Emily Detweiler is in the Barbecue Central Show Guest.
Wow-wee. Look at you.
That was a flyer. I didn't think it was going to happen.
Man, oh man. I didn't know if you were going to bring her back up again this year or not, if you had had enough of getting your teeth kicked in. But here we are. So Emily Detweiler is in. All right, we got room for one more in the inn. Matt, who are you arguing for?
It's really tough to put myself over these two guys. I'm gonna go Mo. Big Mo Kason. Listening to some of his past episodes, I think one of the things that stuck out to me was when you did the whole characterization thing with Damien, seeing that whatever you call it, the
ice
cartoon
chomping
type.
Yep.
Yeah, that, and just I think his personality over audio made those episodes some of my favorites. So that's who I'm going to lead my pitch with.
All right, Mo Kason is Matt's pitch here to fill slot number 5, which happens to be the final slot. All right, we'll go back around in normal fashion. Doug, yes or no on the BMC?
He was entertaining in some respects, but was he a positive attribute to the show? I don't think so, so I'm going no.
Wow. All right, we'll cut it there. And we will, I guess it's my turn now, all right? Huh. Wes Wright is out. Melissa Cookston is out. Maddie's out. I'm going to...
Didn't you have Andy?
3, 4, 5. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go with Travis Clark. Multiple time guest on the show, multiple time hot take, multiple time telling it like it is when he was dominating Competition Barbecue, which, by the way, when he was in Competition Barbecue, he was dominating Competition Barbecue. Now that he's out of Competition Barbecue, he's really not dominating anything in relation to Competition Barbecue, but that was his realm. That was his niche. He showed up every single time I asked him. He answered every single question that I asked. He brought his own view of where Competition Barbecue was each and every time we were having interviews. Everything that makes, to me, what a great guest is, Travis embodied, and he also had great personality and great voice and was unafraid. Or as Daniel Vaughn would say, he was courageous on the show. So for that instances, or for those instances, I'm saying Travis Clark should be the 5th and final person into the 2025 Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame. We'll go in reverse. Matt, Travis Clark, yes or no?
Yes.
Rusty, Travis Clark, yes or no?
Travis Clark, yeah, he's great. He's the kind of like the Shack of barbecue, but he sounds good.
Shack of barbecue. John, Travis Clark, yes or no?
As much as I dislike Travis Clark as a human being, he freaking very well deserves a place in this Guest Hall of Fame. And yes, he's absolutely. I'm embarrassed that we haven't done it yet.
Doug, this all lies on your shoulders. Do we have a new Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame? And if we don't, that's fine. But the answer now is in your court.
I did that once before. No, I'm going to say Travis Clark deserves to be in our Hall of Fame. Absolutely. No one said it like it is, like he did.
No doubt. All right, so we've done it, and quicker than I thought. So I'm glad we went into the second. Quicklier than I thought. That's my
Yes,
word. That's not a real word. 42 minutes into the second hour, we have birthed a new Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame. In recap, Wes Wright was our very first unanimous organic vote into the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame, followed by an Andy Husbands, followed by a Melissa Cookston's, followed by an Emily Detweiler, if you can believe it, and closing out, and certainly no shame in being the final one, but that's just the way it is, a Travis Clark from Clark Crew Barbecue. That is it. We still have time for Barbecue Central Show's Embedded Correspondent promotion. Doug, what are we promoting tonight?
I am on currently this week's co-host of the Baseball and Barbecue podcast, so listen to me there. And I will be traveling in a couple of weeks to Huntington Beach to cook the California Wine and Food Festival there. So
Right,
if you're in the area, come on by. It's on October 18th.
John, what are we promoting?
Hey, I just want to thank everyone for listening to me 400 times on the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less. And this week will be the first show of the next 400. So thanks so much, and let's do it this another 400 times.
All right, Rusty, what are we promoting?
Nothing except for the restaurant, but I just wanted to give a shout out to John because I don't know if we did it in the beginning or not, but 400, man, that's a big ass deal. I don't think people understand how hard that is and the dedication it takes to do something like that, and at the level that John does it. So, big fan, and congrats, buddy. That's awesome.
Matt, what are we promoting?
I second that, and the congratulations of the Best Moment Show. Made sure to listen to it on the way back from Illinois this past weekend. And other than that, back in the saddle at Blinky's Offset Barbecue in Pegram, Tennessee.
All right, we got a couple minutes, so why don't we do the lightning round surety questions here with Rusty while we got him. All right, Rusty, quick hitters. No thinking, just quick hitters. 100% yes or 100% no. The Underseasoned Barbecue Podcast got it right when they placed Daniel Vaughn as the #1 most influential person in barbecue across the globe.
Yeah, they actually crushed that one. That was a good job.
Ray Lampe should have ranked higher than 152.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, I know absolutely. 100%.
I should have ranked higher than 143.
Man, that's wild. Absolutely. I top 20 easy, and I'm not just saying that because I know you.
Doug should have been somewhere on that list.
Yeah, Doug invented the fucking dip thing. That was huge, Doug.
The queso dip. The queso. He's talking about queso, Doug. 100%.
Yeah.
John should have been somewhere on that list.
John? Yeah, hell yeah, dude. This is a podcast. They didn't even touch 400. F those guys.
Rusty should have been on that list.
Yeah, because I absolutely influenced nobody.
Matt should be on that list.
Matt who? Who's Matt?
Finally, somebody did not make the list. Wow. All right, Rusty, appreciate you running through. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. There was one more left. I forgot. 100% yes or 100% no. Wait, were you able to hear anything when you couldn't log in by any stretch? You were totally dead?
Nope.
All right. Okay, good.
Yep.
This will work then. 100% yes or 100% no. Proving that my hypocrisy knows no bounds. I have used the Hardcore Carnivore Everyday Carry Steak Knife in the past 30 days.
I'm an optimist I'm an optimist. Yeah, yes.
Yes. All right. Well, guess what? Both you and John were 100% wrong. As I said, I told you last month, say no this month, and John said yes, and you said yes. I also revealed that for the past 60 days, I have lost the Hardcore Carnivore Everyday Carry Steak Knife. I haven't even had it on my person, so there's no way I could have used it. So I will try to tell you again, Rusty, next month say no. But you guys are a free will. You're your own humans. You're going to answer how you're going to answer. But I'm going to encourage you to say no because I will ask it again. And I will not have used it in the next 30 days. I can tell you that. I guarantee it. So with that being said, guys, thank you for the class of 2025. It's always fun. I'm looking forward to everybody's reactions. And we will do it again in 2026. And we'll see you again in October. There they are. The embedded correspondents for the Barbecue Central show, and we will go ahead and am I caught up here? Yes, good. And we'll just leave 15 minutes early. Why not? Let's hit the rack. All the way back in the first hour, I recapped the Hartville Hardware Grillfest 2025. Then, after that, we had an abridged and sans rusty 100% assurity question with the embedded correspondence. And then as we twirled into the second hour, we started the putting in or the nominations process of the 2025 Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame. And we ended with a brand new class. Wes Wright, our very first unanimous inclusion. Andy Husbands made it in. Melissa Cookston made it in. Emily Detweiler made it in. And Travis Clark made it in. Those are the 5 that make up the Barbecue Central Show's class, our Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame class this year. Great show. Many thanks to the Embedded Correspondents for really pounding this one out and holding true to what they believe, saying no when they feel like they need to say no. That's most important. Holding the fabric of the Hall of Fame at heart. The integrity, as John said. A big show planned for you next week. Amanda McAuliffe from McAll Cigars will be back in talking about their green cigar release. A rapper I've never heard of, so anxious to learn about that. So, how do I always leave you? September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. And until next week, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe, saying, Shalom!
Hi, this is Jeff Stone of Grandpa's Pride Barbecue from the Panhandle of Florida, and you are listening to the Barbecue Central Show.